Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock.
My name is Danny.
And we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Dad Chat. I am one of your hosts, Brock, and with me as always is Danny. How are you doing tonight, Danny?
Brock, I'm having an amazing night, no matter what everything in evidence would tell you. Everything's great. It's perfect.
No one needs to know what's going on behind the curtain there, wizard. All good. We're good, man. Yeah. So, but no, how was your day?
Pretty good. We're winding down the school year. Tomorrow's the last day of school for all my kids. They have a half day, which originally was awful because they had them all getting out at 11 o'clock. And I went, that can't work for anyone. There's no one that can do that. So they switched up the times, but they didn't actually announce it. So I was waiting for the last minute and finally got the county calendar out to say, no. All right, we got to stagger these guys, because how are you going to get everybody on the buses when we all share the same buses and yada, yada. I think it was just a typo, but it was a little bit of stress. There was a little bit of, come on, guys. I have to be in 3 different places at one time, but realistically, it's going great. Yeah, that's what I think it is too, because you think of how many kids they have that are still distance learning. It's very, very few now for most of our schools, because everybody's just kind of gone back, whether they really are allowed to or not. But it's been pretty good for us, countywide, and our numbers have been really, really good in all the schools. So but still just having just a few of it. But I really like it that they've taken what they've learned from distance learning and what they've learned from having kids that could, basically work remotely. And just like a lot of corporations are doing, the schools are really starting to implement that into future programs. So
That's cool.
I'm looking forward to see what we're doing. Although I'm really worried that maybe kids will never get another snow day.
You never know.
It's just awful.
It
can't happen.
We had snow days this year. So, we were in person the entire year. So, yeah, I think that it's hard to do a snow day and then expect the teachers to have like stuff to run with. Because if you think about it, like they're not going to school. So,
the teachers can't get on the road.
I don't think that that's going to change a whole lot. Honestly, it's not going to be like that. So I don't think snow days are going away. I'm curious though, like, so it's your kids' last day is tomorrow, half day. So it was for my son, it's his last day. He gets a half day tomorrow too. At our school, they have like a big field day where it's a small school, so they can do this with a lot of ease, but they split the school in half. And it's purple versus silver. And like this fun inner rivalry that they do, which is hilarious, because sometimes siblings don't get put on the same color. So it could be real interesting at the house that afternoon. But I was wondering, like, do you guys have a field day, like where they set up anything for the kids?
Yeah, they usually have a huge day. Now, usually what they have is a big water slide at the elementary school, and they have like 6 or 8 teachers up at the top, and then just as many down at the bottom. It's just plastic, but they just roll it out, and they ask for donations of dish soap and all this stuff, and they have a hose out there, and then they have inner tubes they blow up, and they're just kind of chucking kids down the hill. And it's really cool because the kids also get to go with their teachers, because the teacher will be around, and we really have great teachers, especially at our elementary level. The middle school this year, they had their field day today, which was fine. It was 95 today.
Ooh, wow.
So yeah, about the middle part, I was like,
that's when you call in the fires department. Right? You're like, hey, just bring the engine in, man. Exactly.
Everybody.
Just hose the place down.
Yeah, but they had a lot of wet activities, water balloon fights, and they get like the mustard and ketchup things and fill them with water. The little ones you can buy from like Dollar General, or just little squirt bottle, like you take them camping or something, and they squirt everybody. They don't have actually squirt guns, of course, because that's a thing, and that's fine. But he had a really good time. He enjoyed it. The high school actually brought in a carnival, like
cool.
Drive it in on a truck and set up a Ferris wheel kind of carnival.
Nice.
And I don't have a lot of faith in those things. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm just like, man, who put this up? That guy put it up. Okay. tell me, sir, what's a crescent wrench? And they'd be like, man, I don't have to care. I screw it with my fingers. It's fine. I mean, I just get a bad feeling about it. I just do. And I've known too many Carneys and Rennies and stuff throughout my life. And I'm just like, but anyhow, but they did set it up at the high school. The whole back parking lot was open. The eighth graders, which they had a very select few eighth graders that went into our high school, this specific high school this year. And it was basically a charter program they're doing for accelerated eighth graders to try to get them a little bit ahead. And it also, it kind of exposed them to the way this high school is and the reason basically I was willing for my kid to go back in person was because they're very, very specific about their learning, but they're also very pod set up. It's like these guys are only this is all they're going to do. They do a lot of STEM and STEAM stuff, which is cool. So the eighth graders got pulled up, and I feel horrible for these kids. I would not do that for my kid because eighth graders in a high school, you think the freshmen have it bad in the high school. The eighth graders were just, I mean, I'd pull up and like to drop my kid off and you can see into the cafe where they eat and everything. And there's two little eighth graders sitting at a table together, like sipping their morning juice or whatever, looking around like, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it out today. And it was just, I mean, and I said, oh, is that they look very small? And Alex, or my kid, Alex said, oh, well, they're eighth graders. And I went, oh, wow. Do they get picked on a lot? And he was like, oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They're just all the time. They can't get a break. And I'm like, oh,
that's awful, man.
But they got in free to the carnival. So it was just unlimited rides for the eighth graders, which was cool. And then everybody else was $10. So
I mean, I guess so like those eighth graders are going to be freshmen next year, right? Like, so that, I mean, that's cool. I guess it's a neat little intro piece, but yeah, that does, that's rough though, too. I can understand.
Especially because they're smarter and generally, they're probably like the gifted kids, and gifted kids have their own emotional issues and social awkwardness that they have to deal with just being in their own grade. Much less dealing with people that are in their teen years, that are like officially like, 15, 16, 17, driving themselves home from school.
And they're like the great white sharks are just like, fresh blood.
That's right.
Fresh
that's
meat.
Right.
Meat's back on the menu, boys. Sorry. One of my favorite lines.
What
from
about
Lord
the
of the
legs?
Rings.
They don't need those.
I love that part. Like, I need to watch Lord of the Rings this summer. So I think that's what I'm hearing right there. I need to watch Lord of the Rings.
It is. It's time.
Oh my goodness.
It's been too long.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw a couple different Cincy shirts here in town. Their owner, I don't know if he was sponsoring like one of the schools in Kentucky, but I think everybody had like some sort of Cincy shirt on, which was cool that they had produced. But they had a big water day, and today was, man, it was hot here today. I mean, it was probably close to 90 here. Oof. Which that's warm for here. And of course we have cicadas everywhere too, so it's all kinds of fun. We have the cicada brood here in town, and I was on the phone earlier, and man, you can hear them. I mean, we were eating dinner in the dining room and you could hear them coming through. You could hear them through the window. They're loud. But anyway, but it was fun. They were, throwing water balloons around and doing all kinds of fun activities like that. I don't know exactly what they're doing at the school tomorrow. I know they're doing an outdoor chapel, which my son's really excited about. He's like, they're doing chapel outside, like, because they have a brand new football field. And so they're going to do that. And they have a bunch of cool activities. A few weeks ago, they did a walkathon, and they had all kinds of like fun activities for the kids to do. So it's a neat school actually, and it's growing just at an alarming rate, which is great for the school, and also at the same time problematic because here they are now, they're like, we got to find more teachers, we've got more students. Like, they've got 700 kids signed up for next year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a ton from compared to what they had a few years ago. And they didn't even have a high school a few years ago. And now it's pre-K through 12th grade at the school there. And they were saying that they were going to have to hire a fourth kindergarten teacher for next year. And when we first came in, when my son was in kindergarten, they had to hire a third teacher at that time. And they thought that was big time. Like, they were like, man, we had to hire a third teacher. And they've had to hire an extra teacher every year since then, just to keep up with the students, how many there are. So only time will tell. I think that the school itself can only hold like, I don't know, maybe 1,200 students or something like that. That's like their cap. but still to be where they are, it's pretty exciting. So
Mhm.
I'm just excited myself. And I keep telling this to the administration, because I volunteer on throughout the school doing different things, but which is a lot of fun. I'm always just like, man, I can't wait to watch football actually at our stadium this year. Like, I didn't get to watch any of it last year because it was only the parents of the players that got to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I can't wait to be in the stands and actually like cheer on some high school football. I haven't watched high school football in decade easily. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's down the line for things to get to do. But yeah, man, I mean, it's the end of the school year. It's exciting. Like, I think you and I both have things that are coming up this summer to do, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute. Before we get into that, though, I do want to make a plug for something that has been a part of the National At-Home Dad Network for a few years now, and they've been just an awesome support to us. And if you haven't ever heard of it before, and I'm trying to like get my camera to do this, but if you've never heard of Father's Eve, you can see it on my shirt here. Father's Eve is an event that happens the night before Father's Day. This year it's June 19th, and it's happening all over the nation. You can go to fatherseve.com and you can see what locations are available in your area. And if there's not one available in your area, you can sign up to be a host and just invite dads that you know to your house, have a cookout and celebrate fatherhood. That's what Father's Eve is all about. It actually started in a guy's garage. And he was just having a cookout with some of his buddies. And so I'm hosting an event here in Cincinnati with some guys in my buddy's backyard. Basically all of our guys, I told them, I said, hey, like, if you're vaccinated, you're more than welcome to come. If you're not vaccinated, we can work on something where try to be like socially distanced, or you can just not come if you don't feel like, you want that or whatever. And so had some interesting conversations with that, but to say the least. But anyway, if that's something that you would be interested in, check out fatherseve.com. They've got a really cool charity as well. They're working with the Children's Miracle Network to raise some money for them. And yeah, it's been awesome. I think it's been around for about 6 years now, and it's going really strong. So check it out, fatherseve.com, and I think that you'll have a good time with it. So just wanted to put that plug in there. John Francis is the creator of it, and he's just been an awesome supporter of the National At-Home Dad Network. So I wanted to give him his due on the show before we move on to our next topic of conversation.
Yeah. And it's such a great idea. And it's not like a money thing. There's no money involved. There's nothing going on. No, it's just his idea was, I think dads need to get together the night before Father's Day and just kind of hang out with the other dads, and whatever you do, like you said, my thought is always a campfire, and usually it's something to drink. It doesn't have to be alcoholic, but it's usually alcoholic, and whatever you do, because I feel like that's the kind of time that dads need. Just to kind of sit around and talk about the stuff that you're running into, the things that you struggle with. And then as the night winds on, maybe everybody has a couple of beers, you start like solving the world's problems and really getting that conversation going. And the idea of him basically making it to the point where, I mean, it's practically a national holiday, it's just like, let's all get together. And it's amazing. Such a simple thing. And no one ever thought of it. So I guess that's what true genius is. So John Francis, if you're out there, I really appreciate all you've done personally. So
my favorite guests or attendees that come to Father's Eve are the new dads, or the soon to be dads, because they have all the questions, or they just look like deer in headlights, and they're just so excited to see another dad. And then like you find out like, they just had a kid recently, and they get to talking, and you can just see like, am I doing this right? What's going on? And it's just and you get a veteran dad that's just like, hey man, it's all right. We've all been there. It's okay. Like you're going to have those moments, and it's just awesome to see the support, like guys who don't even know each other. Like I've been doing it for now 3 years, and every year I get guys who are like, man, I just did not expect it to be like that. Like I felt so welcomed and so just like part of this group of guys that I would have never got to meet otherwise. And so I talk to John every year afterwards, and he gets stories from everybody all over with the same kind of deal. It's, just a great connection. So, and that's what the evening's all about. On to other things. So when school ends, I've got the day one day, Thursday, to finish up my prep for a big road trip.
No, I've been hearing about it, and I've been seeing the pictures of your camper. I haven't seen enough of them though, but
Yeah, I've got something to show you tonight.
Yeah, good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
So
and
tell
I'd
us
love to
where you're
say,
going.
yeah, so we are heading out on a 5,000-mile road trip where we're going to head north up to Wisconsin and then across over to Washington, where we're going to go to Olympic National Park, hopefully get to see some humpback whales. And we're stopping at other places too, different monuments and national parks along the way. We're going to skirt Yellowstone both on the north and south, and I've heard it so much from all different guys. You're not going to go to Yellowstone. I'm like, I've got 2 weeks and I'm just like going out and hitting these spots and coming back. Like, we'll do Yellowstone a different time. It's okay. Like it'll be there. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to go out there. We're going to Astoria and Cannon Beach for a little Goonies fix.
Very cool.
So I'm excited about that. And then coming back through like Mount St. Helens and the Grand Tetons and just seeing a ton of this country and just really excited about it. We've got my buddy's teardrop trailer that he built a couple of years ago, and this thing's decked out, and I'll pull up some pictures for you. So this is the trailer. He basically built it it's an aluminum trailer with I think it's not styrofoam. It's some sort of like insulation, to like thick insulation foam that he was able to like cut into the shape that he wanted it to be, and then he took canvas and painted canvas on it so it's watertight, which is really nice. Got awesome windows. It's got doors on both sides. He put this tongue box on the front, and then he got this what basically is like a toolbox for like over a wheel well for a truck,
mm-hmm.
and put it over the wheel well of the one side of the on the back side of the camper, so that it just gave more flat space for being able to prep dinner or whatever, put your shoes on there before you get in the camper, that kind of thing. So that's that side. And then the other side, you can just kind of see there's another window there, and the spare tire, if we ever were to need it, is there. There's a structure on top of the camper, like a frame that actually held one of those tents that you would put on top of like a car or something, and you just like pop it up and have like the ladder on. And he had that on there for a while, and then he sold it and just kept the frame for now. This is probably the part that most people are excited about. There's like a full kitchen in the back, like a kitchen area in the back, which is awesome. So it's all kinds of organized different things, cups, everything you need that would be in your kitchen is in there. Knives, all the utensils, pots, pans, kettles, cups, dishes, everything. Like, he's got that thing stocked out. There's a Jack Daniel's metal bucket you can kind of see in there, sort of like right over the this area right here. And there's a bottle of like apple whiskey in there. And he'll usually take that and some Screwball and mix it together as like a little fun little nightcap in the night. But he's got a really fun tradition where after you get the whole tent campsite set up, he's got some whiskeys and some bourbons in there that you pour a little bit as a nip of celebration. So he left those in there for us, as
nice.
He was like, you guys are doing a lot of traveling, so you're going to need to do a lot of celebrating.
Yeah.
But then the cool thing is you see this, there's a blue and gray with like a string. That's actually a refrigerator freezer, like chest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so the whole, like, everything runs on a 12-volt system with a lithium battery. And then he's got a solar panel that you can actually plug into it, which helps to maintain the charge on it. He says it's not doing as well to like charge it, but it'll maintain it. So if we get to like a power source, because like we have campsites that are going to actually be plug in, we can just plug it in and charge it the rest of the way. But it holds really well. And the whole thing's like lit up. It's just an awesome thing. And then on top of it, it actually slides out. So you get like a full slide out deal. So it's just a really well designed DIY teardrop trailer that he's built. And yeah, we're excited that he's letting us borrow it for like 2 weeks to go out west with it. And it's a game changer for us to be able to pack everything we need. So we're excited. But yeah, we leave Friday morning at like hopefully 9 a.m. Get out on the road and get up to Wisconsin, where we'll be hanging out with Paul Gordon for the night, which we had him on the show a while back.
Mm-hmm. That's very
potty
cool.
training. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's an amazing looking camper.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited to get to use it for sure. So my buddy David, who actually it's David McMillan who built the camper. He's the guy that I talk about all the time. That's got the '81 Pontiac Bonneville that's been in like movies and stuff, and is also doing the road tripping breakout session for Home DadCon this year. So that's the camper that's going to be at the hotel for everybody to check out when he does his talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really cool. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun too. So I assume you've told your kids, right?
Kids know. Oh yeah. They know definitely. They don't know. I mean, they know different places that we're stopping at. They have absolutely no idea what they're going to experience or what they're going to see. Like they haven't gone into there. They have absolutely no clue the fact that there's a possibility of even seeing whales. Like that's the big one. And we honestly probably won't tell them until we get there and actually see them or not, because I don't want to have that massive of a disappointment.
Yeah.
So I can console my wife all day long, but consoling my wife and 2 other children, that's a whole nother story.
Yep. There's no reason for them to even, because then it's a surprise. That's going to work out better for them. I think,
Right.
I don't always, but I do that often with my kids.
Yeah.
Because if we see them, won't you be excited? But if you don't see them, you'll be excited till we get there, and you'll cry for like the next 3 hours. And I'm just nobody needs that.
I don't need that. Definitely. Are you doing a road trip this year?
Yeah. We're actually, I know we've talked before that I'm moving up to Wisconsin,
Right.
Be near my wife's family, who's basically around Minneapolis. And so we're going to, since we've all been vaccinated except for all the kids, but all the adults have, my wife's going to fly up the first week of July, fly up to Minneapolis and spend a couple days with her family, just her and her little sister's new baby, who's about, I don't know, 4 months old, maybe. I think he's about 4 months old, but he's in desperate need of me to hug him and hold him and rock him to sleep.
Wait, does he know that?
He does. Well, it's really funny because I said, I'm gonna ask her, my wife's sister, I'm gonna ask her if she'd be okay if maybe I came in one night, maybe you and I, and we can all have dinner or whatever, and then let me take the baby maybe overnight, and I'll feed him or whatever, because he's moved up to a bottle and what have you now, and he's a little chow hound. So I said, I'm going to ask her and see what's going on. And she's like, oh God, yeah, take him, and I'm like, yes, I feel that. I know that exact feeling. Feeling. This
isn't her first, is it?
It is. Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but it's been tough, but first child everything is crazy with your first child. I think we all kind of relax on our second, but it's still with a second, it's still kind of crazy. But on the first, her whole family is very practical, more than more pragmatic than anything else, and they're definitely, my wife especially, and this is why she ended up with me, very low maintenance, so kind of very
Nice.
kind of easy to please and willing to look at the reality of the situation of babies are messy and smelly and they yell a lot and they stink and they just keep me up for 19 hours straight, so she's just got, I think, to the point where she's like, yeah, go ahead. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be my one of 2 things I'm going to do for myself on that trip. But anyway, yeah, we're going to go up. My wife's going to fly up, and then I'm going to drive the kids up, which I think is going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to drive about 8 hours or so and then stop for the night.
Are you coming by me?
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Because I won't know until I kind of have to figure out what the route needs to be so that we can figure out what we want, where we want to stay, and the areas that we're going through. We're still kind of planning it out, but maybe I will say, and I haven't told anybody yet, but I talked to maybe just a couple of guys individually, but when we get to Minneapolis, we're going to have at least one night, where I'll probably only get one night, where her family's just going to let me go down to the cities and meet up with any of the dads up there that I can. Yeah. Kyle is one of them.
Kyle and Eric. I bet Tim would come down for that.
Yeah, maybe Aaron. And, just a bunch of guys. Yeah. And even a couple of guys that I've met from Wisconsin, even, or maybe we'll see. but yeah, but so just kind of get together with them, and I don't know what we're gonna do, but just kind of hang out. And if we're all vaccinated, there'll probably be a lot of hugging. Just gonna say it, there's gonna be hugging. I actually have a gift for Kyle that I meant to bring to him at Home Dad Con last year.
Man, that's a
but COVID
postponed
stopped
gift.
it. So yeah, it's okay, it's a Claymore.
What?
I'm a dad, that's what I do.